Hello, in this video I'm going to quickly show you how to make an electronic line graph for the data that you just were looking at and tabulating calculations on. So let's get started on this. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to Clever, and then you need to go to your Office 365, and it may be down lower. Mine is just up on my favorites bar. And once you get here, you want to click on the green Excel tab because you're going to be doing this in Excel. Open up a new notebook. Then you're going to do a split screen. So if you have not downloaded this data, go ahead and download this data. So now you have this data sitting next to your Excel program. So what we're going to do is we have to copy this table into here, and then it'll make a line graph for us. So we're only going to need these first few lines. So let's go ahead and start off with population, and then you just click on the A, slide it over so it's a little bit bigger. Boom. You're going to do that for each of these things. We're going to type in all of these names going across. And for each one, I click on the B above, and then I go ahead and make it bigger. So now we're going to type in the soil color just so that we'll have it for later, because that is very important when we're looking at our data. So we have light. Okay, so now that we have our colors in, light, light, dark, 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 light. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and type in our mouse colors. We have tan mice, we have dark mice. And I'm just going to type in the numbers for each mice at each location. Okay, now I have all my data in, so now I'm going to make this large. Okay, now I'm going to make a graph of this, and again, this is the fun part for me. So all we do is we go ahead and we highlight this data, push insert, and we want a graph, and we're going to want a scatter graph, and we want it with our labels. Scatter graph labels, and there it is, our scatter graph with our labels. Now if we want to go ahead and change the chart title, we can go up, which right now it doesn't have a name, so we're going to have it above, and we want edit chart title, so we're going to call it Pocket Mouse. And there we go. So now unfortunately, then you can pull this over here and have it underneath. So what we notice here is that where we have light color, we tend to have more tan mice. So 6, 80, and then where we have the dark color, we have less tan mice. And then when we go back to having tan, light colored dirt, we have more tan mice again. All right, and for the dark, we have less on the light, and then not as much on the dark, right off on the edge, and then it shoots up and then it stays the same, which is interesting. So now that we have this data, let's look at our last two questions. So we're going to go back to a split screen. So last three questions. So which populations show evidence for variations in fur color? Highlight all answers that apply. So where do we have variations in fur color according to this? Well, at location 1, Christmas Pass, there is no variation of fur color there because we only have one kind of mouse. Tule Well, we do have some variation because we have two different color mice. At Lava West, we don't have any variation because it's only dark mice. So that's how you would answer that. So go ahead and finish highlighting any of the places where there's a variation in fur color. It means that there are two populations of mice with fur color. Then look at your line graph of the pocket mice data. What pattern do you see? So I kind of mentioned this already. What pattern do you see with the tan mice? Where are the tan mice more often and where are they not? Do you see any patterns there? Dark mice. So the dark mice, do you see them everywhere or do you only see them in certain places? So what pattern do you tend to see? Right? The pattern doesn't have to fit everything, but it is a pattern, something that you tend to see. And then looking at your data, you're looking for something that's interesting or what you wonder about. So there's lots of different things here. Figure out what do you wonder about? Like this spot here. Do you have a question about that? Or this spot over here where the dark mice is, do you have a question about that? Or this spot here, do you have a question about where the tan mice are? So looking at the data, what do you wonder about? What does not make sense? Or what brings up a question for you about this data? And that's what I want here. All right, well, that will conclude this activity. So you will upload this file in the file documents, or you're doing it in your class notebook, and then you'll also upload a picture of the electronic graph.